Welcome to Bonnie's Beat. I'm your host, Bonnie Squires. We're coming to you from Radnor Studio 21 in the heart of beautiful downtown Wayne, and we are also broadcasting by Comcast into Lower Merion Township. Yay, at last. Verizon has been carrying us from the very beginning, but now you can see us from Ballackinwood to Broomall to Westchester and beyond on both Comcast and Verizon. We like to showcase people who are doing important things in the community, whether it's in the arts and culture field, whether it's politics, whether it's a charitable organization. And today we are going to celebrate the Harcum Centennial once again. Our guests today are, Julian Crooks.
Yeah.
And it's Ms. Julian Crooks and Heidi Techner. They're two professors at Harcum, and they have been working their tails off for the 100th anniversary of Harcum College. So tell us about the Centennial, Julian. We'll start with you. Your piece of the puzzle.
Well, the Centennial, obviously we're celebrating Harcum's 100 years, and in 1915, when Harcum began, it was actually a music and arts-focused women's school. So we really wanted to involve the arts in the Centennial, and we've got a couple of upcoming events and projects and initiatives that we're planning to celebrate.
Well, there was an Edith Harcum. That I never knew.
Oh, yes.
But in your material that was supplied by your communications director, Rachel Ammon, you've got a 90-something-year-old woman who actually knew Edith Harcum.
Yep.
And I believe she's an alumna of the school. Is that correct?
That is correct. We started, Edith Harcum started the school, I think we had 3 students in the first class.
3 whole students.
3 whole students in 1915. And yeah, so it's a big deal for us to be 100 years old.
And Harcum has evolved so, because there was a period of time when it was like a finishing school for girls, and then there was a period of time when if you wanted to be a dental assistant or some kind of a medical assistant, Harcum was the place to go. They always had an interesting design courses, though, because my dear friend Paula Dresden, who has a degree, a 4-year degree from Temple University, but she's very artistic. She wanted to be a design person for offices, for homes, residential, and there was a famous professor at Harcum who had designed some incredible public space, and Paula studied with her and then started her own design firm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harcum, Edith Harcum, I think, was a piano player, and so music was very important to her, and I believe it started as a music school and then branched into the other arts. But the arts were always featured at Harcum and always, thought of as being just as important as the other disciplines. So even with the programs we have now, dental assisting, allied health programs like OTA and PTA, we still really believe and support the arts. And Dr. DeTemple, who's president of the college, is a big proponent of the arts and has always wanted the students to participate in taking art classes as well. So,
does Dr. DeTemple insist that regardless of what your major is, you've got to take a couple of courses in the arts?
We've been working on that initiative for several years now, and
he supports
incorporating more and more classes in digital photography, drawing, painting, theater classes, drama classes. So that is an initiative we've been working on, and one that he believes in strongly. So we feel really fortunate that the arts are so valued as such a key component at the college still.
Well, one of the things really caught my attention, bears and squares. I had no idea what that meant. So Julian is sitting behind one of the bears. How many bears went out to how many artists to let them do whatever they wanted to do with them?
Well, there were 22 bears. This is an original design, and 22 bears were poured. These are plaster bears, and artists submitted proposals for them. So the Philadelphia and artists in the area had to submit a proposal, and if they were accepted, they were given a bear, and they all designed their bears. So they look, they're beautiful, they're all incredibly different.
Who is the artist that did this beautiful bear?
This one is Patricia Banks. She's a Philadelphia artist, and this is Nature Bear. But I just think it's so, like, the vibrant colors. Yeah, let's see the whole thing.
The back is great, too.
Yeah. So.
But they're all very different.
Yeah, they're all very different.
Seems
They're
to be
all
writing on the back. What does it say?
I don't know. I haven't read the whole thing. It's like some grapple early with your fears.
Oh, it's got her philosophy there.
Yeah, it looks like that.
I love it. I love it.
So these bears are unbelievable. I mean, there's a bear that's a lamp. There's a bear that's got a whole forest in his belly. There's an amazing there's an amazing bear that's actually like covered with a deconstructed beehive. Yeah. It's really beautiful. It's on our postcard. We'll leave you with some of those. But
now, where are the bears currently?
well, the bears are in hiding at this point. They're going to have a preview party.
They're in hibernation.
Exactly. Well, the bears, and then the squares. So the bears were sort of a bigger project, but we wanted to get more of the community involved with this. It's sort of a community arts program to bring everyone in. So we also have squares, and we gave squares out to anyone who wanted to do a painted square as well, or paint didn't have to be painted; it could be collaged or.
The canvases you gave.
Yep, we gave them these canvas squares.
Now,
there's 100 of these that we've gotten back.
100 squares. Now, you mentioned Dunwoody Village, but that's not the only place that you gave the squares to, is it?
No. You could request a square, anyone in the Harcum community. This one is by a Philadelphia artist. A lot of artists contributed. Lower Merion High School.
Rebecca Jane Honig.
Yes, that's Rebecca Honig.
Isn't this
She did a bear
gorgeous?
as well, actually.
Oh, she did both. Look at this. Is this fabulous? Wow.
Students in the design programs did squares too.
And then this is
we actually had in one of our classes, we had a square party.
This is by Alberto Cincello. He's a resident of Dunwoody Retirement Community.
Alberto Chiricello. Chiricello. Okay.
And the theme of the squares, Harcum is the College of Possibilities. So the theme of the squares was loosely possibilities. So this one is called the Bridge of Possibilities.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder what country he had in mind when he was painting that, because they're obviously not Americans.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just a beautiful, he's obviously a painter of, with
some talent.
Some
oh
talent.
My goodness. So where will the bears be displayed when they come out of hibernation?
Well, this is an important date on the 10th. September 10th, we are having a preview party at Harcum College from 4 to 8 p.m. And it's going to be in the Kevin D. Marlowe Little Theater, and everyone is welcome. Please come, anyone in the community. And the bears and squares will all be on display then for people to see them in real life, up close and personal.
How long will the bears be on display?
Well, then the bears, after the preview party, they're coming right down pretty much and will be on the auction site, so that anyone can go on the auction site and bid on the bear or square of their choice. I think the minimum bid on squares is $20.15.
Because that's the 100th anniversary.
It's 2015 is the 100th anniversary, yes. And the bears vary, but anyone can see them. You can put the auction site was up on your screen.
Let's put the auction site up there on the screen. That's harcum.afrods.org.
That's correct.
harcum.afrods.org.
And you can see all of the pieces on that site now, and they'll start the auction on the 10th.
So they got 22 bears and 100 squares.
Yes, indeed.
I love it. Is the bear, was that selected because it's the mascot of Harcum?
Yes.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We are the Harcum Bears. And we're going to take, the auction will continue until October 22nd. And at that point, the lucky winners of bears and squares can take their prizes, and we're going to and whatever squares we may have left, we'll make a permanent installation at the college. So.
And also, you should know that the proceeds are all going to the Student Scholarship Fund.
Yes.
Student Scholarship Fund.
Centennial Scholarship Fund,
It
which is really our drive in this centennial to really build that base for students that we can help.
How many students does Harcum have right now?
About 16 to 1700, about
Oh.
1,000 on our Bryn Mawr campus, and 600 to 700 more on our partnership sites.
Okay, where are the partnership sites?
All in and around the Philadelphia area in local communities, and they're to service the community so that they can go to college by walking down to their neighborhood church. So they're in the communities.
Very interesting. Or are they in libraries?
Some of them are in libraries, some of them are
Community
in
centers,
community
Centers.
centers.
churches, like
Okay.
you said, yep.
Maybe a synagogue?
Maybe.
Maybe. We have I don't know how many. We have quite a number of different sites
Yes.
throughout the city.
Okay, I didn't know about the remote sites for Harcum. That's terrific because you got this beautiful campus
Yep.
right in Bryn Mawr, and you back up to Bryn Mawr College, as a matter of fact.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
And Louis Kahn designed some of the Bryn Mawr College buildings.
Right.
Yes, but you've got a beautiful, the main building at Harcum. Is that from 100 years ago?
Melville.
Melville Hall is, yes. And so are a couple of other buildings there.
Oh, really?
Is
Richter
Richter?
Hall. They're the original.
Now,
They kind of spot the campus, and they've been updated, of course, through the years.
for many, many years, all the years that I knew about Harcum, Esther and Philip Klein were the guiding forces there.
Yeah.
So are there things that are named for them, or?
Sure.
There's a building, Klein Hall.
Klein Hall is named after
okay.
him, and I believe there's the sculpture out front of Klein Hall, I think, was dedicated to him as well. Yeah.
Are
he
there
had a
any
strong
family
presence.
members from either Harcum's family or Klein's family that are still around?
Yes. I think it's his grandson.
Philip Klein?
Yeah.
Yes, that is on the Board of Trustees. It sits
Ah.
on the Board of Trustees.
Okay. Well, they certainly had a commitment to continuing
Absolutely.
education, higher education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he had a really strong presence there, and was a very strong leader. Yeah.
Absolutely. And they really propelled Harcum onto the local scene.
Yeah.
Because before, it was very quiet. It's not quiet anymore.
No,
Yeah.
it's definitely
Well, it's not all girls either.
No.
That makes a difference.
It's co-ed.
Yeah.
And Centennial, we had interviewed Dr. Alexandra Helensky,
Right.
who did
Yes.
the
The perfume.
Centennial, Scentennal, and she had her students come up with formulas for various scents, for various perfumes, and
Yes.
sold
Right.
them to contribute to the scholarship
Yeah.
fund as well. And she was absolutely delightful.
Oh, yeah,
She's
they're
also done.
wonderful.
She's done a series of scented candles with the Harcum scents that are also on the
Oh.
auction site too. But yeah, those were amazing. That the students would create these. I mean, that Edith was beautiful. I think I'm wearing it right now.
Oh, now, Julian, tell us what you teach at Harcum.
I teach in the fashion design department. So this semester I'm teaching fashion design drawing. And that, like, if you don't mind me segueing into the other event that we're doing
Absolutely.
on the 10th, is we're also, we have an exhibit going up in the library, in the Trout Library, that really cool round building that you can see from the road. In that rotunda space, we're doing a What We Wore 100 Years of Fashion at Harcum. So this is going to be an exhibit of photographs and images from the archives and the yearbooks, and we have actual garments worn by Harcum alums dating back to the inception of Harcum.
Oh my goodness! How did you acquire those antique clothing?
They were donated to us by an alum, a daughter of an alumna. So yes, we've got things from the 20s, we've got things from the teens.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be a really neat
Because
show.
most of us, we just give it to Rummage after a couple of years, and that's it. We don't know to save it.
Don't do that. It's so sad, honestly. You know, because we're collecting things from every decade. So there's things that I know that I would have thrown away, that we're cherishing for this collection. This exhibition. Like,
What's your favorite piece? It's like, what's your favorite child? But do you have a favorite
it's
piece?
hard. There's two. I have a tea gown from 1912, a little before the period.
Ooh.
It'll be on display. It's beautiful. The most delicate cotton with lace insets, and it's really beautiful. But what I think is really groovy is this 1970s maxi dress that it's got this crazy pattern on it, and it's Harcum purple. Just so happens, like that's our color, so I gotta love it. So that show, we're gonna have a little opening tea. You're encouraged to wear hats to the tea on the day of the homecoming, which is October 10th. So
October 10th. Okay.
October 10th,
Do you have to
11
wear
11
gloves
a.m.
too to the tea party?
Well, we won't turn you away if you don't, but a lady should always wear her gloves, I think.
Hats and gloves.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite dress designer today?
Well, that's tough. I really like Alexander Wang at the moment. I just think he's
She picked
very
the
modern.
inexpensive one.
He's very modern and very fresh, and I like that. But of all time, probably Alexander McQueen.
Interesting. Interesting choice.
Yeah, very different from each other, but I sort of like the I don't know, I like the pageantry of fashion.
Do you design clothes yourself?
I don't have time. I'm busy. But no, I don't. I did before going into teaching, but between all these things and the students and my responsibilities at Harcum, yeah.
Where did you go to school?
Rhode Island School of Design in Providence.
And what did you major in?
Fashion design. Yep.
So, did you have a job in the schmata industry before you became an academic?
Yes, I worked in the schmata industry for 6 years after RISD.
Where did you work?
You know what? It's a company. Most of the time I spent at a company called Gaetano, which is no longer in business, but was a very big sportswear company in the 1980s.
Is it GAE?
Gitano.
Oh.
And yeah, like when I tell the kids that, they look at me like, what? But
What city was it located
in New York. And that's where the schmata industry is.
That's
what you
right,
gotta do.
That's right, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what I did after, for school, and then I became an educator and went back and taught at RISD for 7 years before coming to Harcum.
How long have you been in Harcum?
I was trying to figure that out the other day, and
These are the tough questions.
I know,
Julian.
boy, you're a tough interview. That's a gotcha question. No, I've been here since 2009.
Okay.
5 or 6 years, I think.
And Heidi, where did you go to college?
I went to Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh for fine arts.
Oh. Are you from this area originally?
I am. Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Haverford, but at the time I went to, well, I don't want to give away my age. I went to high school a while back when they had, do you remember the alternative schools?
Oh, sure.
So Haverford had an alternative school called Allgates. So I went there my junior and senior year, and that was really life-changing for me because that was more like a college experience. And I did a lot of art. I did a lot of painting, set design, drawing. So I continued on in college.
And what was your first job out of Carnegie Mellon?
Well, I wasn't a painter. I worked in an art gallery, actually, in Pittsburgh.
Oh.
Selling art and hanging art and working on the shows. And then I moved back to Philadelphia and always had a passion for design along with art, and at a very young age was moving the furniture around in my bedroom and house, and sort of a common theme with designers. So I decided to go back to school and get my master's degree in interior design at Drexel.
Oh, you went to Drexel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And that was
That's
a
the
3.
Westfall, is that the Westfall school?
No, it was.
What-
Yes. Well, at the time, it was called the Nesbitt College for Design.
Oh, okay.
Nesbitt College of Design. Now it's Westfall. Yes, it's a
Yeah.
woman's name.
Yes.
But when I went there, it was Nesbitt.
Nesbitt, okay.
It was Nesbitt, and that's what everybody called it. Yeah,
I
but
taught
they've
English-
since moved.
I taught the freshman English literature survey for a couple of semesters at Drexel University. When they had me teach it at 8 a.m., I felt so sorry for these poor kids.
Did they even show up?
They don't like 8 a.m.
They
classes.
did. But the next semester they made it 9 a.m., so That was
Yeah.
more civilized. What can I say?
Yeah. Yeah, students do not, that is not their favorite time of day.
No,
No.
8 a.m.
No.
There should be a law against starting
I
classes
agree.
at 8 a.m.
Especially for college
yeah, I
students,
agree.
yeah.
Because they all had jobs.
Yeah.
So they got like
They're
2
out
hours
late.
sleep, but they stayed awake for my class. So that
Right.
So you must have been a
That's
good
good.
teacher
That's
then.
good.
I am. I
Yeah.
was. I
That's
loved
great.
it.
Yeah.
I loved it. The kids were terrific.
That's good.
And it's funny because the Drexel students, they're contiguous to Penn, and they had such an inferiority complex. Now I've got 2 degrees from Penn, and I would say to them, when I drive in, I can't tell the difference between a Drexel kid and a Penn kid. I said, write a description. So the description of Drexel, everybody had to have a T-square and glasses, whatever, and they had these like Hollywood notions of what Penn kids look like. I said, baloney. You can't tell the difference of who's walking on the sidewalk between a Drexel student and a Penn student.
Absolutely.
And to this day, you really can't tell the difference.
No.
Absolutely
No.
not.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And Drexel's tuition is almost as high as Penn's, I think, right now.
I think it actually may be even higher.
Yes,
Yes.
it's a private school.
Yeah.
What about tuition
Sorry.
at Harcum? You have a scholarship fund, but
Harcum's tuition is pretty reasonable. Tuition is, well, first of all, it's an associate degree granting program.
Right, so
All
it's
of the
2
programs.
years,
So
right.
it's 2 years. So that's kind of cut in half from the 4 years.
Yes.
And the tuition is about, is it 20? A little under 20?
Yeah, about 20,000 a year.
So in the big scheme of things for a private school, it's pretty reasonable.
yeah.
Pretty
Now,
affordable.
what do you teach, Heidi?
I teach interior design. I run the program. I'm the program director, and I teach in the program. And I worked on the arts committee for the Centennial to put on this art show called The 100 Years of Art.
100 years of art.
100 Years of Art. And we put in a call for art from anyone who had a connection with Harcum and or the surrounding community. And we got hundreds of pieces from all over the country. It
Oh,
is a
really?
juried art show, so
Oh,
50 to 60 pieces were selected for the show.
Okay.
And the show will be opening on September 17th. I have a couple of
yeah. Hold up some
photographs
these.
of work. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is
This one is fascinating. I love
Yeah,
this
love
one.
This is a painting by Doris Peltzman, who actually was the principal of a school her whole life.
Wait,
So
wait
she
a
was a teacher.
Can we get a close-up of this? Because she didn't start painting until she was 65 years old.
And she started
Isn't this
painting when her
gorgeous?
husband took ill to give her something to do while she was caring for him. And she now shows her work and has won awards internationally. So
What's her name again?
Doris Peltzman.
Good for her. Now, what's this
So
one?
we have this is
love this one.
actually a painting by one of our own, Barb Yaloff, who has worked at Harcum for about 10 years now, but is also a painter in her own right. And I
love this.
love her
It's a happy
paintings.
painting.
So we'll have a couple of her pieces. And then last but not least, this is a photograph of a painting by a woman by the name of Madeline Kelly, who
Oh, that's terrific.
is also an
Ooh, what a
internationally
portrait.
recognized artist.
What a portrait.
So
Oh,
we have
beautiful.
mostly two-dimensional work, but we have some sculptures, we have some jewelry. If the artist chose to sell it, then it's for sale, and again, part of the proceeds will go to the scholarship fund.
Are the pieces of art that are for sale, are they on the harcum.afrogs.org?
Yes, you can preview them now.
Oh, okay.
They're
That's
already
great.
up. And we'll also be having that in the Kevin D. Marlowe Little Theater, starting on the 17th. It'll run for a month. And it's a really special event. It's actually following, this is a lot of information, but it's following a lecture the same day, right before the preview of the art show, by a woman by the name of Heather Rodale on healing through the arts.
Is that the Rodale Press?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Rodale Press.
She was on the board of trustees at Harcum, and she is
Emmaus,
giving a talk.
Pennsylvania. That's where Rodale Press. Are they
Right.
still in business, Rodale Press?
I think so.
I think so, because they printed lots of health books, but they also had, years ago, they printed a magazine called Yiddish Lingo. And it was English transliteration of Yiddish, and I had a poem published in there one time. I wrote the poem in English, and on the opposite page, they translated into Yiddish, but transliteration. I wrote about my grandparents. So
Yiddish
I always,
is such a lost
it's not
language.
lost.
Really?
YIVO has been resuscitating it. There are Yiddish classes, especially in New York and Boston. There are Yiddish classes, maybe some at Penn also. I'll have to find out. My alma mater has any Yiddish classes. Yeah. Anyway, you've got a notebook here. What's in the notebook?
Oh, nothing. That's just a drawing pad. And it just has other paintings that are in the show.
Oh, that's a beautiful one.
Ooh,
So,
this
yes,
is
I brought a
wonderful.
variety. This is actually,
Wow.
I don't know if you know Nancy Halbert. This is one of her pieces. And Nancy lost her sister. We had kind of a theme for the show, which was healing through the arts, since it
healing through
follows the lecture. So people will come from the lecture to the little theater for a reception and the opening of the art show. And Nancy, who happens to be a friend of mine, she actually also has an interesting background because she was a dancer. And she turned artist later in life. So she didn't paint or draw until she was much older, and now that's all she does. She's shown all over Philadelphia. And
So, Julian, there's time for you to get back to what you wanted to do.
That is,
I could start designing clothes
Doris
again.
Peltzman is
At
my
70.
inspiration, yes. We will all get back to our art.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
In my
Absolutely.
retirement, I'll come out with a line. And then I'll be my favorite designer.
Absolutely.
Have you seen a change in your students through the years that you've been teaching there?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I
For
have
the
to
better?
tell you.
For the better?
The students, I mean, I can speak for the interior design program. I mean, the students are everything, and they're fabulous. I mean, we have a really diverse student body, but they all somehow meld together and take care of each other. You know, we have students
good to
coming right
hear.
out of high school, and then we have students who are like us,
Non-traditional.
switching careers. And they somehow balance and create this wonderful harmony, and they are the heart of Harcum.
Do they do a fashion show each year?
Do
the
a
end of the
fashion
semester?
show and
An
interior,
interior design
portfolio.
portfolio show as well. Yeah, and then they're the same weekend, aren't they?
Yeah.
Usually? Yeah. So yours is on Thursday usually, and ours is on Friday of that
Oh,
weekend.
okay.
Oh my gosh, you haven't been to the fashion show? You have to come this year.
No. I've
We'll
read
send
about
you an
it.
invitation.
Sent me an invitation.
Oh,
I've read about it.
The work
But
that the students do
great.
is incredible. You would not believe that they, in 2 years, learn how to design,
What they do.
sew, and produce a whole collection.
That's incredible.
Yeah. No, I'm so proud
And the
every
students
time.
in the design program, you know, they go through this program and are usually working in the field by the time they graduate.
Fantastic.
So
Yeah.
we work them hard. But
Yeah, we
they
have
make,
2 years, so we really need to.
They make
Yes,
connections
can't
with
waste
each
any
other.
time.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
time wasted.
It's really special.
Our guests today have been Professor Heidi Techner, Professor Julian Crooks, and they're responsible for large segments of the Harcum College Centennial celebration. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll see everybody next
It's a
week.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie.